Britain's former Russian spy Sergei Skripal's mysterious death in Britain. Analysts have begun discussing the significance of the diplomatic war between Russia and the West. How powerful is Russia still a superpower? How strong will this diplomatic debate actually be for Russia? The answer lies in Russia's economic, political and military power. Russia's economy has been challenged since the start of the Ukraine war. U.S. geopolitical thinker George Friedman said in an interview that since the U.S.-backed government came to power in Ukraine, Russia has seen its U.S. ally very close to its borders, which has made Russia insecure. With Friedman's analysis, a sharp drop in oil prices has cast a shadow over Russia. This is where Russia's biggest weakness comes into play. The Russian government's budget is almost entirely dependent on oil exports. On the other hand, it goes without saying that Russia has no role in controlling oil prices. Oil prices are almost always dependent on Saudi Arabia because of its influence over the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC. So Saudi King Salman's visit to Moscow in October 2017 was very important for Russia. Proof of this is the first visit to Moscow by a king since the birth of Saudi Arabia. Vladimir Putin has also invited the US's closest ally and struck a strategic pact with Russia to boost its economy. In addition to controlling oil prices, Saudi Arabia has promised to buy arms from Russia and invest in Russia's hydrocarbon industry, which, of course, made the video an overnight sensation. Russia has also begun exporting liquefied natural gas, LNG, to China from its Arctic gas fields near the North Pole. The Yamal gas field, invested by China, France and Britain, is now Russia's largest energy project. Almost all the gas in the project is now heading for China. While the gas dreams of boosting Russia's economy, it continues to increase Russia's dependence on China. Russia's eastern Siberian parts are also becoming more dependent on China. Establishing Russian control in these regions is not an easy task due to the huge distance from Moscow. Russia is also quite weak in terms of manpower. While the population of the Slavs in power is not growing, the number of Muslims is growing at an alarming rate. Russia's hypersonic missile tests, the creation of the largest submarine, nuclear-powered icebreakers, reconnaissance ships and bombers around the world, have received much response. But is Russia's military power really the best in the world? Russia has about 6,300 nuclear warheads, compared to 6,960 in the United States, according to a report by USA Today, citing the Plaushares Fund, an anti-nuclear organization. However, analysts say that the number of nuclear weapons should not be taken as a measure of strength. Hannah Thoburn, a research fellow at the Hudson Institute in Washington, D.C., told PBS that Russia's current military capabilities are a shadow of the 1970s, despite having more nuclear warheads and missiles. He cited the example of Russia's military operation in Syria, saying that after sending Russia's only aircraft carrier, Admiral Kuznetsov, to Syria, there was more black smoke coming out of the ship than of its military mission. Many feel that Russia's intelligence has not been weakened by the Soviet era. Putin was also part of the intelligence during Soviet times. Therefore, the role of Russian intelligence in the implementation of Russia's foreign policy remains. How far that intelligence goes, however, depends on its global goals, which will not exceed its economic, political and military might. Russia's influence remains, albeit not globally, but regionally. Central Asian countries, for example. But even there, Russia has to deal with China, Turkey and other regional powers to maintain its influence. Russia is using technology to exert its influence. Russia has been technologically advanced since Soviet times, and is now looking for markets for sophisticated weapons, in addition to setting up nuclear power plants around the world. Russia is increasing its weight strategically by providing technology, especially in areas where the West wants to control technology. In a documentary titled World Order 2018, published in March 2016, Putin also highlighted technology as the key to maintaining Russia's position as a powerful state. During the Obama administration, U.S. relations with Russia deteriorated. Tensions between the two countries have risen, especially over the Ukraine war. In the words of Donald Trump during the U.S. election, some people thought that the Trump administration might try to improve relations with Russia. However, those who thought so did not take U.S. foreign policy as their own, but gave more importance to Trump's election campaign. Trump's remarks alone are not enough to consider Russia-U.S. relations. According to the geopolitical definition, the superpower will be the one that has the power to carry out its global will. Russia's current economic, political and military capabilities are not enough to carry out its global ambitions. And no ideology like that of the Soviet Union has come down with the aim of spreading the present Russia all over the world. While analysts do not agree on where the ongoing war over the death of a Russian spy will end, they do agree that the country will not emerge as a superpower at the end of the war.